G'day friends and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today we're going to be discussing that rumor that seems to be circulating that a Canon EOS M50 Mk2 may be on its way. So we're going to have a look at some of the evidence that may point to something coming our way pretty soon. So stick around. And welcome back. Now, it's no secret out there that most camera companies are suffering post-COVID and are having a lot of trouble regaining the sales that they had pre-COVID. There's a recent statement from the Canon's quarterly results that state that the impact from COVID growing more serious as it has persisted longer and became more widespread compared to first quarter. Now, this had a lot to do with some of the other business units that Canon has out there. They're into all sorts of things, but imaging obviously is a big part of it. Now, as far as cameras are concerned, they have developed a strategy to hopefully combat whatever's coming their way in the next few months. In their financial review summary, they stated that as for the second quarter, due to restrictions placed on people's movement, there were fewer image capturing opportunities such as travel and other events. As a result, the willingness of consumers to purchase cameras dropped significantly, leading to a large decline in our sales as well. Although the environment that surrounds this business is very challenging, we will simultaneously launch two models in the third quarter, the EOS R5 and the EOS R6, facilitating our shift to high value added products. So what do they mean by high added value products? Well, I am guessing that they mean hybrid photography. So one of the things that I'm reading into this is that they're realizing that we as consumers are not necessarily only looking for a camera that will be a singular purpose, for example, primarily for photography, but the masses, the prosumers, the consumer to prosumers are primarily looking for devices that will do a lot of things and do it well. So I think the R5 and the R6 sort of falls into this category where they feel that they're delivering on all fronts, and that is a strategy that they want to also move forward on. So one of the very poignant points they made was that they feel that cameras are expanding from image capturing and sharing device to becoming more of a communication tool. So one of the product developments, or one of the statements that they've also made, is that they're going to be focusing on making cameras more like what we're seeing from Sony and some of the sort of software enhancements that we've seen from Canon themselves. So the ability to connect your camera to your computer in order to use it as a webcam is high on the agenda, and also giving them the ability to share more readily content captured on the cameras using either apps and devices such as your mobile device. We are also preparing camera bundles that include necessary image capturing accessories for video creators. Furthermore, we will enhance our new concept camera initiative, which gives no regard to traditional camera concepts, as we prepare to launch the new models within this year. So there you go. So they've already announced the R5 and R6. So they're saying now that there are new models. So we know they're coming, but where are they going to be positioned? Now, my gut feel is competing with Sony is going to be really important, especially since Sony has made a lot of advances towards appealing to their consumer base when they released the ZV-1 camera. Now, they changed the flippy screen. They actually, started giving us a lot more of the things that we expect to see when film creators are actually on the field and need something accessible like great mics, flippy screen, slow-mo, and all the things that are the tools of the trade for content creators. So if we do a little bit of a deep dive, sometimes marketers get a little bit zealous and they start changing their websites without realizing that they're giving away some clues, or maybe they're doing it on purpose, who knows. But if we do have a look at the Canon Australia website, which is the one that I normally have a look at, we can see some of the changes that are coming as far as their consolidation strategy. So if we have a look, they've got 3 categories: the entry level, which they only now have the M50. Then they have the enthusiast, where they have the M5 and M6, and the R5 and the R6. And then we've got the professional, which is the R5, R6, and R as well. So what I'm guessing by the specs that have been coming up in camera rumors, I'm guessing that it's either going to be an M50 Mk2, and they're probably going to leave the M50 as the entry level, maybe have an M50 Mk2. But what I'm sensing is that there is definitely one on the way. So what is on my wish list? I wish that it didn't have additional cropping on the 4K mode. If they can keep that one nice and clean, I'm happy to accept the fact that it's an APS-C sensor and it has its cropping that comes with that territory, but no additional cropping. At the same time, the other feature that I would really love to see on it is IBIS, because some of the cameras that we're competing with, like the Sony, even Panasonic, all have pretty darn good IBIS as far as I'm concerned. So that would be really nice to have. And then if it could potentially have a headphone jack, that would be awesome. But since they're playing around with, the format of the software that's in these cameras, maybe they should consider upgrading the Bluetooth. So instead of making the camera bigger and adding an extra port like a headphone port, maybe they should allow us to connect our Bluetooth headphones so we can monitor the sound using our Bluetooth headsets. That would be a cool idea. And then we really wouldn't have to worry too much about the camera getting bigger, and we'll let the software that's available already to do most of that magic. So those are the 3 wishes for my entry-level camera of dreams. So no cropping in 4K, IBIS, and hopefully a way to monitor sound, whether it's done through Bluetooth or an extra jack in there so we can plug in our microphones. That would make my life fantastically easy. Now, obviously, if they reutilize some of their or cannibalize some of their technology, we may not need a super duper Digic processor. Maybe the Digic 8 that's on the M6 Mark II would be just fine in order to do the megapixels and the quality of the video we want, as long as they continue to make it entry level. So I'm willing to sacrifice battery life. I'm willing to sacrifice all the other stuff, as long as this compact device does what it's supposed to do, but does it well. So anyway, that's my 2 cents in all this. So the evidence is there. So I think I've put in a strong case. Canon is hurting. They realize that the shift in the way that people consume their mirrorless cameras has changed over the last 12 months, and they need to address that. And then they also need to consolidate their products and not have a bazillion versions of cameras that people get so confused about what is on offer. So given an entry level, an enthusiast and pro, that should be good enough for us to make our decisions. So hopefully Canon can pull it off and give us what we want, especially when it comes to entry level and low cost. So that's my video, guys. Hopefully that made sense, but I think there's something exciting coming along. I know it's not going to be as big as the R5 without the overheating, of course, but I think it's something to be excited about. So hopefully you got something out of the video. If you liked it, give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell. And until the next time, ciao for now. Record. Record. Okay, here we go. Take 2. We're going to do the sync clap. Syncing 1, 2, 3. All right, hopefully that does the job. Greetings adventurers and welcome to another one of my Sorry, wrong intro.